Midterm elections are coming up on November 8th, which creates a lot of conversation about what is at stake.
I would argue that most American elections are pretty important. They have policy consequences.
You may have seen ads on social media platforms like Instagram encouraging users to exercise the right to vote.
Reading up on who the candidates are and figuring out whose ideas most closely align with yours is super important before going into the voting booth.
Even Carmichael Library hosted a voter registration on October 24th. Midterm elections tend to be a referendum on the current presidential administration, which means issues like abortion and inflation will sway voters' opinions.
I think abortion rights, and with that sort of like a women's rights sort of wave and a reproductive justice sort of wave came with it. Because with overturning of Roe, I think it's just on a lot of people's minds how they feel about those issues, and that's going to influence their voting. It definitely is influencing mine.
We as a community, as a state, as a nation, our dependency on motorized vehicles and the preference for that over public transit. Gas is so heavily dependent on that any fluctuation to that can radically impact someone's budget for a month.
We have the very unusual backdrop of the last election when the president, the sitting president at the time, Donald Trump, refused to concede after losing the election. And that actually culminated in a violent assault on the U.S. Capitol. We're not used to seeing things like that in the United States. We're used to seeing things like that in numerous other countries, countries that the United States used to scold and look down on as not representing legitimate democratic process. Well, now it's us, where normal democracy has been sort of seriously challenged and disrupted.
Reporting for ValoVision News, I'm Jayden Presley.